Get out! Your type don't belong here! The voice cracked through the polished banking hall like a whip, shattering the quiet hum of calculators and murmured conversations. Heads turned, gasps escaped, and all eyes fixed on the scene unfolding near the front desk. The manager's voice thundered, filled with venom and arrogance, echoing against the marble walls. The words carried more than rejection. They carried humiliation, sharp and public, meant to strip dignity from a man who had walked in with nothing but quiet confidence. But before we go deep, what country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments, and if you're watching and not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now, smash the notification bell so you never miss these untold stories, and drop a comment saying, "Power rises." Because what you're about to hear is deeper than you think, and the twist will leave you stunned. He stood there, tall, steady, wrapped in nothing but a simple round-neck t-shirt and plain jeans. No suit, no polished shoes, no flashy watch. Just a man who looked ordinary, invisible even, in a world trained to measure worth by fabric and shine. His skin glowed deep brown under the harsh fluorescent lights, his frame calm, his eyes unshaken. In his hand, a slim leather folder pressed against his side. To the untrained eye, he looked like a man out of place. To the prejudiced, he looked like someone who didn't belong. But in truth, he belonged more than anyone in that room could imagine. The humiliation hit him like a wave, not for the first time and not for the last. The manager stormed closer, barking louder, drawing attention from every corner of the hall. Customers stiffened in their seats. Some turned away in embarrassment. Others allowed smirks to curl across their lips, entertained by the spectacle. Security guards shifted uneasily, awaiting orders, their hands brushing radios as though he were a threat. The air grew heavier with judgment, each second stretching into eternity. And yet, he did not flinch. His shoulders squared, his breathing even, his gaze steady. There was no tremor, no hint of weakness. Silence became his shield. In that silence lay patience. In that patience, unimaginable power. He adjusted the folder in his grip, nodded faintly, and turned away as though the storm had not touched him. To the watching crowd, it seemed like defeat. A man cast out, ridiculed, and silenced. The whispers grew bold. See, he doesn't belong. But humiliation is temporary. Truth is permanent. As the doors closed behind him, the city air rushed in, hot and sharp. He stepped into the sunlight, pulled out his phone, and made a single call. His voice carried no anger, no complaint, only quiet authority. Across the city, documents already waited. Contracts already bore his name. Transactions already tied his future to the very ground beneath that bank. The building that had scorned him did not yet know it, but it belonged to him. Inside, the arrogance of the manager swelled, satisfied with his performance. He returned to his desk, chest puffed, believing he had defended the sanctity of his hall. Customers chuckled nervously, pretending to move on, though the sting of his words lingered in the air. But before comfort could settle, polished shoes echoed from the corridor. Not his own. These steps carried weight, authority, urgency. The regional director entered, flanked by executives, their faces taut with recognition of disaster. They asked for him, the man in the plain t-shirt. Shock rippled through the hall as they stepped outside, their hands extended, their voices dripping with respect. Customers strained to hear, security guards exchanged uncertain glances. Whispers turned into a low roar. Who was he? Why were they treating him like that? The answer crashed like thunder. He was not a customer. He was the new owner. The ink was dry, the deed was sealed. The marble floors, the glass walls, the offices stacked above, every inch belonged to the man they had just mocked. 10 minutes earlier, they laughed. 10 minutes later, they bowed. The manager's face drained of color, his authority dissolving into dust. The smirk that once stretched wide curled into shame. His words, "Your type don't belong here," echoed back at him like a curse. For now, he was the one out of place, standing on ground that no longer recognized his power. The crowd's silence became judgment. Eyes that once ridiculed now burned with regret. And the black man, still in his plain t-shirt, walked back inside, not as a client, but as master of the house. Every step he took thundered with a new reality. Power doesn't wear costumes. Wealth doesn't need permission. Dignity cannot be stripped. His silence roared louder than the manager's insults ever could. And as he stood in the center of the hall, calm and unshaken, everyone knew. This was no ordinary man. This is more than a story. This is a reminder to every person ever underestimated, every dreamer mocked for not looking the part, every fighter told they don't belong. Your power is not in their hands. They can laugh, they can scorn, they can humiliate, but they cannot stop what is already written. So the next time they say you don't belong, remember this. 10 minutes can change everything. 10 minutes turned humiliation into ownership. 10 minutes turned laughter into silence. 10 minutes turned shame into power. And your 10 minutes is coming. So don't you dare leave this video without claiming it. Hit that subscribe button now, smash the bell, and drop a comment saying, "My power is rising." Because these stories are not just entertainment. They are fuel for your fire. And when the world tells you to get out, let them watch as you walk back in owning it all. Stay locked in, because the next story I bring will shake you even more. This is not the end. It is only the beginning.